See, sometimes I look to take my time with it, but I don't have to. And I'm going to always say this because I don't want people to get it twisted or misconstrued. Even though humans will anyway. I was made by a man and a woman, a king and a queen, in 1984, February 4th. And I have my own mind. You could tell me something, but that don't mean that I have to go by it. I've been watching this world and watching humans to discuss of how some humans treat each other, but they call it all different type of things: gangster, thuggish, invaders, colonizers, evil, gangster, thug, all different type of names humans make up. And remember when I first came on this thing called YouTube, I said I'm gonna give people not what everybody else giving. Bless up Tina Marie, bless up. Grand afternoon to you and yours. Said I'm not gonna be giving what everybody else giving. Because every individual in this world that comes on YouTube, you're given a different viewpoint of what you think and what you see and what you experience. Even though we all live in the same universe and on the same earth together, yes, that's easy to understand and understand. But we intake things differently, okay? Just like we have different days, humans intake things differently. Now, woke up this morning on Sunday and grabbed my two cell phones, and I seen on the top of the notification that I forgot the man's name, but R.I.P. L.I.P. to him. I shot another agent. ICE agent shot another person, civilian. Excuse me for that, people. And then they're looking at it, so I go in the bathroom and wash my face and brush my teeth. Turn the TV on, CNN. Then I'm looking on my two phones again and looking at all of the notifications. And as I say, I don't really think how other people think. And I don't look at situations and things how other people look at. And when I looked at this situation, there's some people that say it's easy to run to judgment. Well, seeing more than 6 human beings on top of one human being, and at the end of the day, the facts are the facts. He had a legal firearm on him. But in this world that we live in, when you want to spin something and when you want to make a narrative or a story, we live in a world where governments and medias could spin anything, okay? You can be a holy person, but next day they'll make you the devil. And the people would believe in it and the people would go with it. Okay? Some people may say that You know, it's just the truth, and this is one of the reasons why I don't have certain conversations with people, because a lot of people intellect is not there. You know, some people will believe anything that it's not about the American government telling you something. It's about all of them telling people something. Because I was at the kitchen table thinking this morning as well. I said, they really want the people on this earth to fight each other. They really want the people on this earth to become enemies with each other. And I'm going to say this. I don't care what color you consider yourself or what religion you consider yourself. Do not feed into the nonsense, and do not feed into the treachery or the negativity, because we didn't come on this earth to be a Democrat or a Republican, to be anything as a JMP or a PNP, to be on this party side and that party side. This is all man-made, human-made, and the thing is, I'm going to always test people hard. Because a lot of people out there always want to say, and this is why I always say the world need a makeover, because what you thinking that God is not what you think it is and what they made up. I'm going to say it again. What you thinking God is not what it is. Because Trump don't believe in no God. Gaston Brown don't believe in no God. Andrew Holness don't believe in no God. Prime ministers and all of these other politicians, they don't believe in no God and they don't know no God. But the thing is, they will set laws down to people and people would follow these laws. But these people believe in gods, right? But you're following people that don't have no morals or no standards. But they tell you. There's a difference between telling somebody and living. Because there's a difference between looking at something and actually living it. People would look at the world burning and still want to say everything is okay. And those are the humans, right? That leave you in a burning building. Okay? And I ain't talking physically, I'm talking mentally. And this is why I say it, when the world be thinking that everything is physical and you can't get no mental or no spiritual strength, you would always be lost. And that's how they want humans to be lost in the trap of the physical world. And that's what the humans are stuck in right now. The physical trap. The web. Why humans that say stupid and foolish things, the internet is undefeated. The internet is one of the most stupidest and childish things in the world, and kiddiest things in the world. Why you think people could put the most stupidest things up and people believe it or think it's true? And why people would put things up where you have humans thinking that they're embarrassing humans, or humans think that they're going off on humans, or humans think they're out in humans. It's just showing how stupid we are as humans, okay? Like, humans gotta stop believing that the internet is some big thing. No. No, 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 no. Okay, it's all over the world, but just check this out. It's just 1% of something inside of the world. Mm-mm-mm. Let me say that again. The internet is all over the world, but it's just 1% inside of the world. Thinking y'all would want the internet to run the world, but the internet don't run the world, because if a human didn't create the internet, it wouldn't be no internet. But that's hard for some humans to get and for them to comprehend or to even put in their mind space. I'm going to say this. It been going on, but it's about to get real dark. Okay? It's about to get real dark out here on Earth. And the Caucasian race is gonna really act up. May sound bad to say, right? Don't sound good, right? But they been acting up. But now they're really about to show their ASS. And when you talk about God or the devil, you're about to really see God and the devil in furthermore days to come in this world. Because this ain't, see, people don't understand. This ain't nothing about America, Canada, Ukraine. This is global, okay? This ain't about one place. This is global. Because if you know the Almighty, I'm going to say this. The superior being ain't got time to deal with one, but has time and space to deal with all. So let devils keep telling you about God. For real, because as the elder once said, let the devils keep telling you about their father. And that's what they doing. Because I don't even care from the entertainment industry, sports industry. They all dirty. People be wanting you to think that you want to be famous. That's being successful. Nah. I don't want to be around none of those demons. I don't want none of that evil spirit or that dark matter around me. No matter how much you may like them, and they're human beings too, but a lot of people that have the light within them, that's in the entertainment and the sports industry and a lot of these things, they try their best to stay away from these people. Because we gonna get back to the times where you speak up, they're gonna take you out. And they're gonna make a excuse why you was killed or why you disappeared. Many rivers to cross. But who's gonna be the first to push the boat? To me, I just think a lot of people need to be more wise on earth. Because all I'm going to say, it's a big battle coming on earth. The spiritual battle is fighting right now, and I'm going to always say this. I don't care which nation it is or which government it is. They don't know God. They don't know Jah. They don't know Buddha. They don't know Allah. They don't know. But they lied to the people. And trust me, the people gonna have to wake up one day. Because if the people don't wake up, the people will continue to suffer. And the same cycle will continue to go on. People would be fighting for people and governments will be beating people down, and it will continue to go on, and people will say they're waiting for God or a savior to come back. For you that don't have no sense in thinking that's me being disrespectful, you're small-minded and you're little, okay? You know how much small-minded people try to use religion against me and can't even spell religion or can't even break down any religion? And this is why I tell people I don't try to toot my own horn, but if you try to use religion against me, right, how could I know your religion, or how could I know your text is better than you? Or how could I live your religion better than you if you go by this, but I actually live it? Okay? Like, so that's why I can't even. That's why I realized when, I guess, when my father told me and my brother when we was kids, don't argue with people about religion and politics because there's nowhere in. And my brother, he listened, but I didn't, because I seen that a lot of people, when it came to religion and politics, they was soft, and when they think that they was wise with certain things, that you could crush them easy because they would try to play manipulation with religion and politics. And a lot of people are controlled by religion and politics. Mm. And when they know you don't know nothing religiously or politically, they would use it against you. Because it happens every day. It's even happening right now while you're listening to this and while I'm talking. Political schemes, religious streams. Oh, I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry for saying that. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hope everybody out there on the East Coast is staying warm, and wherever it's going to snow at as well. Make sure you have batteries, flashlights, water, bread, cheese, eggs. Stay warm. Keep your cell phones charged. Keep your mind charged as well. Mm. Uh, it's going to be a blast. And people ain't wake up yet, and to be totally honest, bless up my brother Plow Mixstyle, bless up, man. Just here, dropping a little science on the Sunday. Because I was talking about the shooting that happened in Minneapolis earlier, and just many different things of manipulation, negative energies. But bless up to you and yours. Much love. Thank you for being inside the building, and thank you for joining. Because I just want people to see where if people don't think that these governments would attack the people, it's going to happen. Okay? It will happen. Because it happened before, and it will happen again. Charades. See, this is the game that they play. Charades. The manipulation game been happening for years upon years, and when I always think about what's going on with a lot of these governments and the people around the world, if they don't fool you, they wouldn't be able to rule you. Let me say it again. If they're not able to fool you, they wouldn't be able to rule you. And it's deeper than what you see. Because when you feel it, Always told people it hurt more when you feel it than what you see, you know? Because every day my soul cries out for humanity. Every day. And for some people, they'll want to ask why. I remember it been many years of me searching why too. But I give you a simple answer. Because many that lives in humanity don't know better. And for a lot of people that want to be naive and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I believe in God or I believe... Nah. Because even with me saying this, I'm not scared to acknowledge there's many things in this universe that I don't know. And you know what? I feel good about that. Because if you learn number one, I said this before in a live, you may master number one, but it will take you some time to get to number two. And the same thing may happen. You may bump your head on number two, but it's going to take that time for you to learn and master number two. Some people don't understand the journey in learning certain things in this world, or opening or expanding your mind or even your soul in this world, of going to different levels. Because if you think that you just was born out of your mama, boom, you 1 year old, then you get to 2 years old, and then you're just going to be living in this physical realm and everything is this physical realm. No, and this is why I always keep on pushing it in. The physical world is going to always be upset with the spiritual world. But the spiritual world, it ain't going to be upset with the physical world. And I remember when I used to think that humans is going to have to come down to a balance and understand that. But I think it's going to take some time, because some people still think that they know it all. But then when you think like that, that's when you bump into walls. That's when you like, when you think you know it all, right? You be in your mind thinking that you're secured enough to know everything. So if somebody there talking to you, breaking something down to you that you have no idea about, you're going to shut that person down. Not knowing that you don't know, but you just naive and thinking that you know it, in the ego in your mind that's moving and running like an engine. You thinking, yeah, I got this. I know what it is. I know what's 2 plus 2. But you don't. Because you know what? The person that's next to you was trying to explain. But you didn't want to take that in. And this is why we have to really overstand in this world. If you don't know something, that's not the end of all. It's okay. Because that's why we living in this world, to learn lessons and to live life. You know, you're not going to be on some joint where, yeah, I'm 1 year old, so I know what it is to feel like 21 or 18. No. You got to get through them stages of being a 4-year-old, being a 5-year-old. Then after that, going to first grade. You got to get through them stages of knowing like, yo, first grade was good. I remember when I was in first grade, you know, we had milk and cookies at lunch. Then we had a pizza. Then after that, second grade, we start reading books, you know, higher books. Then third grade, they start giving you division. Then fourth grade, you start doing higher division. Fifth grade, you start doing essays. Then in sixth grade, you know, so it you have to be real with yourself on your level. If you're on level 3, don't try to act like you're on level 4. Okay? Be content with being at the level that you stuck at right there for that moment, and not saying that you stuck and you never gonna move, but that's just where you at for that moment. Because when you always try to jump over, like, say, for example, if you're at level 2, right, and you try to skip level 2, level 3, I mean, and jump to level 4, oh, man. The people at level 4, they already got things that you missed because you skipped level 3. So don't do that. Like, they'll say sometimes that we all don't, like, we ain't got time, right? But I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to say this. Knock that charades down with that time. Knock that down. Okay, bless up, open-minded, man. Bless up, elder. Much love and peace to you and your family, man. Knock that down, because you know how you see some people rushing in the morning for work, rushing to try to do this, rushing to get the kids together, rushing to make sure they wife okay, rushing to make sure they fiance okay, or your girl, rushing to make sure the family okay in the morning before you go to work, or if everybody's staying in, you making sure everybody okay when, like, and you rushing. I had to learn it's not the time that they made, but it's the time that you have that you gotta take. Okay? And what I mean by that, take your time, because you can't rewind. Okay? Because what we moving forward in life, but we not moving forward in their time. And this is why humans are so hasty. Even at work, sometimes you'll see some people rushing to do certain things. Like, even in certain business places, as in baseball stadiums, football stadiums, you have a certain time they got to start the game. Like the game coming on at the pregame 7:30, the game at 8 o'clock. So, some of the basketball players or football players, they got to reach to the stadiums at 5 o'clock. Some people don't want to do that, and people are tricked on time, and it runs in people's mental mind where, yes, people want to be on time at their job. You want to be at time in doing certain things that you set up with family or friends or certain occasions. But don't let it be a trap to you and yours. Don't let it trap you, because, I'm going to be honest, I remember when I was a teenager, man, I made time trap me, because remember I had days when I was a teenager going to sleep like at 4 o'clock. Gotta wake up 8 o'clock for school. And some days I tell you I wasn't tired, but it wasn't that I didn't care about school, because I tell you that in a minute. Is that a lot of my teachers, some of them I didn't care for them to teach me because I thought they couldn't teach us. You feel me? And I thought they was teaching us nonsense in high school, and I didn't agree with it. I didn't really care for it, I didn't want to listen to it, and I always challenged my teachers every chance that I could have challenged them with certain things, whether it was math, whether it was science, whether it was social studies. I always liked to challenge them in high school, because I didn't feel it was right what they was telling us. So I'm not going to be in the class of 32 students or 25 students, and you're telling us something and I don't feel right, and I'm going to sit there in the chair and listen to it, you know. So I remember some days, I gotta get to school by 8 or 8:30. Some days I used to just be, morning time in Brooklyn, go to the store, get a butter roll, 50 cent, and you get a hot chocolate, or you get a tea, or you get a coffee for 50 cent or 75 cent. Sometimes you'll get a butter roll with cheese. And I remember sometimes, be honest with you, I used to go to school a lot of times late. And I remember everything was, when you check about it, from going to sleep at 4, waking up like around 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock to get ready to go to school for 8:30. Everything was time. And it was time. And even right now, what we doing right now is, let me see. It ain't about time, but these are two numbers in the timeline, You got two people in the chat, open-minded and proud mixed child, too, you know. As in this YouTube joint, you got, we've been on here for 31 minutes so far. Like how they created the time, they created it to stress us. But when we look at it as the universal way, we have to learn how to make it be our blessing, not our stressing, our blessing. And got that from you, open-minded, I'd rather be blessed than stressed. And like, cause I remember seeing myself like stressing about time as a teenager, but I didn't realize it. I was trying to do a lot of certain things like fast, and I was hasty with this, doing that. And to be honest with you, I was killing myself out. Because I will say this. I was speeding in time, and I was getting places, but when I look at it, because when I got to 21 years old, I remember sitting down and saying I was tired mentally. My body wasn't physically tired. My soul wasn't tired, but my mental, it was tired. It was like, couldn't think fast. Like I was moving very, like my mental was moving very slow. And I knew that I burned my circuits out. I fueled out. And I had to recharge myself. Of like, breathing better, seeing things better, reading more, opening to the universe more. Like, cause some people that think of recharging yourself as going to sleep, you wake up, you take a shower. Nah. You're from Jah and you're from the universe, so you need that universal power to recharge your soul and to get that mind and that physical body going again. And that's what I had to do. And I learned is, even talking right now, gotta repeat that cycle every day. Every day, to keep on going, keep on moving. And like, yeah, we get them days where, I remember like 4 days ago, one of my lady friends told me like, see, I'm tired. I just don't feel like doing nothing today. And I told her, I said, you know what? I said, you're tired today, but make sure you up tomorrow. You know? And with saying that, we're going to get them days where certain parts may be tired mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's going to get weared out. But we got to always recharge. We got to always make sure it's shining again. Because as you want to get rest, like from a long day of work or even just a long day, and you want to lay down or sit down, kick back, have coffee, or, some people, burn a spliff. Some people, play chess, and I'm still learning on my chess too, because, like, I'm still learning because that's another peaceful joint, but I'm still at like 10% of chess learning. But things that reading a book, having a cup of tea, people do chilling with their dog or their cat, kicking back and just and chilling, you know, enjoying life. And that's one thing that I want people to do again, man. Enjoy life. Don't enjoy the treachery. Don't enjoy this nonsense that they feeding in on the media. This, like, cause a lot of people don't like how I talk about certain celebrities, but I'm gonna be honest, I could care less, okay? Cause I don't care for them. I don't care for them as looking. The only reason why I will care for you as a human is if you're doing something to help the world and others. But I'm not going to care for you as in something that I need to care for. Because people will have this stupid, sadistic way of thinking. You're going to care for a celebrity, or you're going to care for one of them people that call themselves celebrities that are killing the people. You, why would I glorify a person like that? Why would I care for you? And this is where it get to the mentality, because I seen I have certain people podcasts that I watch before all of these people start getting on this podcast scene and everybody want to have a podcast. And it's Doggy Diamonds, Sinetta, Gully TV, MREC, you know. And like if you have sports, I used to watch Stephen A. Smith on the TV, and I don't get along with everything that he say, but I listen to him because he need to do better in certain things, but I listen to him because it's back from a lot of things of him being from Queens, and he should know better because a lot of Stephen A. A lot of people don't know about Stephen A. Background and family members, but Stephen A. background and family members, a lot of them are very, they speak up about situations and stuff. So like when I get down on a lot of my melanated people and some people don't understand, and I say I don't care why you don't understand, you will never understand because I'm gonna say this. Whether it's you want to call yourself black or brown, I love my black and brown people. And then when you want to take it outside the box or still in the same box, I love all the people on this earth. But when you don't have a reason to not know who you are, don't think that I'm going to love you. Okay? Don't think that I'm not going to love you. Yes, I have to realize that you're a human being, you know? But don't think I'm going to love something that hates. Now, as I was saying, got many different people. All these rappers are having podcasts nowadays. Everybody have a podcast. And I'm going to say this because I see it and people don't see it. And this is how you know a lot of people ain't see too much in their life. And if they did, they don't realize and have the strength to understand to stand up. Now, I see a lot of people talking about street stuff on these podcasts. You people that's talking about street stuff, and I'm talking about you celebrities too, okay? When you think that you're talking about real street situations on the internet, the streets don't sleep. And it's to show you that a lot of these people, they never been streetwise, or they're not smart at all, or they just really want wars to continue in the streets. Because if you know anything about the streets, you would know that people in the streets have a lot of ego. And they want to hold the so-called thing called a reputation. So when you say something to a so-called street person, they have to so-called defend their reputation. And you people that think that you're not wise enough, it ain't nothing about being a punk or being superhero strong or being the baddest woman or man. It's about really stopping all this nonsense in the world and our communities, okay? You need to stop. Because it don't make sense. It's only making death and jail. That's it. I don't care. You know, because, like, it still sickens me to see Jim Jones and Cameron beefing. It's sick. Y'all look at this as some media joint. Y'all look at it as it's good. To me, it's sick, sadistic, and it's very nasty. Okay? Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel, not cool no more. It's sick and it's nasty. How many people got in this game together from nothing and they don't talk no more because of what? Money, disagreements, and I'm going to always say it. If we all came up in the hood together, don't matter where it was on this earth or don't matter where it was in America, if we all grew up in the hood from nothing, like we just had probably $100 a day we making, and you finally somebody get a record deal for $1 million. He leave out the hood. He take a couple of people with him. This what happens all around America. This happens in Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, in different ghettos. A group bus, and when I mean bus, I mean get popular, get known, get notoriety. Now, some people say that person don't come back to the hood or they don't come back to the hood. Now, this is the nonsense that we need to stop. What's coming back to the hood? Huh? What's coming back to the hood? Because you have to understand what, and this is the teaching. Some people don't come back because it ain't nothing to come back to. What we coming back to? Killing each other? What we coming back to? Not learning nothing from each other? What are we coming back to? Gang banging with each other? What are we coming back to? Murder and death? What are we coming back to? Betrayal? What are we coming back to? Generations that are dying? What are we coming back to? And then the thing is, what are we living in the ghetto? And this is why I always say, you have these false teachers out here. They want to talk about what they used to do in the hood. And they was the biggest gangster. They did this, they did that. And you saving the kids, you ain't saving nobody. Because why so much people get on the internet talk about they telling their stories and they want to save the youth. And as I said, I don't agree with nobody. I stand alone with what I say. And it ain't about saving no youth, okay? It's about saving all of us. Because if you can't save the mind state, right? That youth that was born, he used to be a gangster before. And you was once that youth that said you was saving the youth. So where was the elders to save you? Okay. And that's why I say never fall for people manipulation. What you say and what you do is two different things. Because I guess it was somebody try to save you when you was a young youth or not. And this is what we have to say. Are we saving each other or are we just talking nonsense when people get on this internet and speaking? What are you really saying? What are you really doing? What are you accomplishing? Because are you getting views? Are you getting likes? Are you getting money? Or are you really trying to save generations? Are you really trying to save lives? Do you really care about these young kids? Do you really care about human beings? Do you really care? Because it ain't about to say what you care about, but it's to say, do you really care? Excuse me, let me get a sip of water. Hold on, let me read. Time is a great teacher. Unfortunately, it erases all of its students. Bless up, brother. My parents told me you can buy a watch, but you can't buy time. Bless up, elder. Excuse me. Proud mixed child telling open-minded. Bless up. Open-minded telling the chat. Bless up. Grand rising. Grand rising and grand afternoon to everybody in the building. Thank you very much for being in the building. Much love. My time for go. Will I sleep? Alright, bless up, King. No night in a Zion. And that it, you see? Like, come on, man. Like, right there. See, I don't like Proud Mixed Child. I'm trying to remember the reggae song that it was Luciano. Was it is Luciano and Sizzla, I think, No Night in Zion, but that right there, that been in my mind since I was like 14 years old. No Night Inside of Zion, and there's no night in Zion. You feel me? There's no darkness in Zion. It shines forever, and no evil could penetrate inside of Zion. How they say heaven and hell is here on earth, and heaven and hell could be a mind state. Well, check this out. When you have a crown that can't be penetrated, that's why evil can't penetrate your mind, body, or soul. And Zion inside of your mental, they could never get there, because that's how you could see through all the evil disguises that's going on in this universe. And as they try nowadays to, because I see they saying that woke people are extremists now, and I will say this: keep on waking the people up, keep on ringing the alarms, because when 12 o'clock hits, and 1 o'clock hits, and 3 o'clock hits, and 4 o'clock hits, and 5 o'clock hits, and 6 o'clock hits, the people would always wake up. Because you may run a cycle, but many would always remember who they're supposed to be. And that's the good side of looking at it always. They could play tricks, because that's what they're going to do. They don't know better. But you know what? When you have the power inside of you, and you have the power of Jah itself, because Jah ain't going to never fail us. Never. And Jah ain't going to never leave us. When you have that, you could look at them and you could smile. Okay? You could smile. Excuse me, let me read the comments. Media stay amping beef, and who they sparked it between. Not all, but most end up participating. It's a shame, and that's true, you know. Like, Okay, Holy Mount Zion, no wickedest, Zion too, and meet you in Zion. Luciano and Sizzler, that's it. Because I was thinking it was Luciano or Louis Culture or Luciano and Sizzler, but I wasn't for sure, man. No, that's, yo, one of the most wickedest reggae songs ever. Okay? And like, I'm be honest with you, that shit hits my soul when I hear it. Okay? And just the other day, like, well, all the time, I listen to Garnet Silk's Hello Mama Africa. You know, like, and this is why people have to know, man, music is vibration and it would make people do things. Okay? It would. Okay. Yeah, music is very powerful. It ain't just for people to want to be thinking it's just like you just listening to a beat. No, no. All them sounds is vibration and all them tones is going into human frequency. And for the people that really be thinking, oh yeah, it's just music. I listen to it. It don't affect. Well, you know what? That'll be strong willpower. But for some people that don't have strong willpower, you have to understand what certain music does to certain people. It breaks them down. Okay. Rasta is representing spiritual liberation, unity, and the ancestral homeland, constructing, contrasting with the oppressive system of Babylon. And we're gonna always ride against them. Yes, sir. It's power in the message. Now that's why I tell people like Babylon system been fighting against us for years upon years, and they gonna lose without us even touching them. Okay, so that's like I don't know. They always been funny, you know. From I was a kid, I always just always look at them as the worst of the worst as they could ever be, you know. And they try to always change. They try to always trick the people, and you do a good job in some of the people because you have some of the people really believe in some of the things that you actually put out there. Where I was thinking the other day that I want to see a lot more people that's from the urban community get into politics, because I remember like a week ago I seen a Rasta man, you know, an elder to me, you know, that's in Jamaica, and he was talking about, I don't know him personally, but he's an elder to me in Rasta and in age, you know, so let's just get that correct. I don't want no confusions. He's talking about how we don't go into political parties, whether it's in Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Croix, America, Jamaica, Barbados. And I'm saying, okay, I understand that, but on my point is of what I always known, sometimes I did things for people that wasn't Rasta, and it's not to brag about it, but I always said, if we really gonna help the people, I'm gonna help the people major if I can't really be inside and break that wall down. You know, cause me being in America and it got Democrats and Republicans fighting for different policies and different laws, and I'm seeing the people being affected by these different laws. How you think you gonna tell me that I don't see this? Like, I'm from New York, where like I don't care if you like it or not. We the center of America, okay? Not Washington, D.C., okay? Not the White House, New York. When you want money or business, they come to New York, okay? When you want businesses to run and flourish and to get up and go, they come to New York. Now, seeing New York beat down from the 80s to right now. Last night, me and my brother was talking about all the mayors that we known in New York since we was kids, and I said, shoot, the last person that I could have give some respect to is Mayor Dinkins. And I was a little kid in the South Bronx. Mayor Dinkins was the mayor of New York City. Then they just went down the line of having people that, as I told my brother yesterday, whether some people want to agree with me or not, but it was just trashing New York even more. You know, because when you look at the history of New York, it came a long way and it still got a long way to go with a lot of things, you know, and I'm going to speak about that in another live too, because that's why I say I want our people from the urban community to get into politics, because if they think that we do not know what they're speaking about, they must be foolish. If they think that we don't know, like, because they could use different tactics or they could use different words, but a library always taught us what we didn't know, right? Okay. So you can't say you don't know something politically when you got a library or you got people in this world that will really help you. And this is what we really need to start to do with each other, helping people out on the small scale to get to the big scale so we could help all each other out. Okay, excuse me. The real White House is not even in D.C. And you know what? I ain't gonna even act like I'm too much up on that too, you know, and that'll be something that I will have to sweep up on, you know. That'll be something, you know. You gave me something to research. No, see the thing is, see they could talk about, like, for example, people don't like to hear this, but Donald Trump and his new regime, their major message is what they're doing right now is to get illegal immigrants out of America. Okay. Now, as I always say, this is bigger than America, and this is bigger than whether we're living in Jamaica or any Caribbean island. This is global, you know? Because a lot of people don't like to hear stuff like this. Donald Trump and Obama, they're enemies. No, they're not. They're good friends. Okay? They're enemies to you, you know? But to them, they're good friends and they put on a good show and they're very good actors. Hillary, and people that think Hillary and Trump hate each other. Trump and Biden hate each other. Yeah. Y'all, I'm gonna say this, and whoever feel disrespected by it, you're supposed to. If you actually think Donald Trump and Joe Biden hate each other, you are a fool. Okay? If you actually think Republicans and Democrats on that big scale hate each other, you're a fool. Okay? And this is why I say people on the lower scale in the urban community that's seen it and that lived through it, those are the people that need to go into the party and to break the parties apart. Okay, let me see what brother said. Check out this book, bro. Visions of Zion, Ethiopia, and Rastafari in the Search for the Promised Land by Aaron C. McLeod. Okay, let me see. The Cobra and the Goose. Wait, I think I got that book. Hold up, wait. Hold up. Damn. Where do I got that book? Wait, hold on. No, I'm trying to think about where, because that Aaron McLeod, Lee Cloud, that name of that author is familiar to me. Hold on. I'm trying to think about where in my house is that book. Because if I'm correct, it's a lion on the front cover, right? It's a lion on the front cover. I'm trying to think about where do I got that book in my house. It's somewhere. Oh, man. Oh, I try not to. I have, I have a lot of books, but I try not to. I do have a lot of books in certain places in my house, but then I have a lot of books like one place. But I'm trying to remember where do I have. Oh my gosh. I ain't read that book in like probably 7 years or so. I have to go check that book out again. Mm-mm. Wow. I gotta find that book. I'm gonna try my best to find that book today, for real. I just gotta really think about where did I put it. Nah, cause I have so much books about different places of like African and Pan African books and Rasta books. Zion Train, a Rastafarian journey through spiritual and daily life is another solid book by Rasta Julio, excuse me. Got I was saying too, I gotta go book shopping, cause to be honest, what it was, I didn't go Barnes and Nobles. I think one time this year since the year started. To be honest with you, I didn't, and I need to go there very soon. And to other local bookstores, because to be honest with you, when you try to get like African or like Caribbean books from like Barnes and Nobles, it's like it's very hard. So you have to go to like local bookstores and melanated bookstores. Like once in a while you may find certain good like books about cultural things in like other bookstores, but if you try to get certain roster books in Barnes and Nobles, it always been click clack, wham bam, not much good for me. But going to Barnes and Nobles, I always find a lot of good African books. They are great finds, no doubt. If not available in stores, I order them online. I was telling my brother I never been really big on online shopping for things, but I guess I will have to start with that, of getting some of the books. But I used to like I don't I'm gonna be honest to you. I remember growing up as a kid, I used to like the hardback books, and I used to hate paperback books because they used to always been in my book bag, and every time I remember going to school because I used to always take like books to school too to read, like when I didn't want to listen in class, so I'll read my books, and I used to put them in my book bag, so it used to be like a repeated thing. Every time I used to put books in my book bag, and I come home from school or I come in school and I'm taking the book out, the top will always be bent. The corner will always be bent. So I remember I used to hate that joint. I used to get mad because I used to I ain't like messing up my books, but then it got to the point where I never cared after a while. And I remember an old lady told me, she was like, get a cardboard, and tape it or glue it, and that's when, I don't know if you used to do this in junior high school when they start teaching us how to make them damn, what's that joint called? Them paper books with the construction paper and the glue and all of that, and you could design your book cover. We used to do that in art class. They teaching us how to make book covers. And I remember I used to like glue like probably two construction papers together so I could have a good book cover. That was back in the days in junior high school, man. They taught us how to make they in school. If you listen to certain things in school, man, they taught you how to do a lot of like fun stuff, like as kids, a lot of us did what we want, but sometimes if you listen to certain things in school, we learned a lot of things, for real, cause what is it? I think like even going to like like school trips and all that. I remember I was there telling my brother I went to 198 and he went to 158. They ain't really like in 198 back then. They ain't really let us out of New York City in the South Bronx too much for school trips. We went to the Bronx Zoo, we went to the aquarium, or we went to certain places in Brooklyn, but they didn't let us Bronx, New York City kids out of New York City. And I remember our brother went to Universal Studios in the 8th grade in 158. And I remember telling him when I was a kid, I said, yeah, they ain't trusting us like 198 kids to let us out of New York City. Y'all lucky y'all going to Florida, you know? But that was big back then too, for like to see other schools going to Florida to Universal Studios. School trips was different back then in the 90s. Going to the Bronx Zoo was like going to Yankee Stadium. It was shoot. Going to the Bronx Zoo, and people can look at it corny now, but I grew up a vegetarian. My mother and father grew me and my brother up as vegetarians, so we don't know about eating ham sandwiches and turkey burgers and all of that. So if you hear me saying certain things, if I had a cheese sandwich or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, they be like, yeah, no, because I grew up a vegetarian. Now, I remember going to school trips. I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a cheese sandwich or lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese. And I remember like us being on the school bus, the yellow bus, yellow and black bus. We'd be all on the bus, like trading snacks, trading sandwiches, and like at those times, that's why I say you gotta have a heart. At those times when certain people ain't had no school lunch. And you don't remember when the school used to give certain people the basic juice box, the apple juice. If your parents couldn't afford no school lunch, they'd give a person an apple juice, and they'll give you a regular peanut butter and jelly sandwich from the school with that wheat bread. Okay? So, like, and I remember times, growing up in the Bronx, like this Bronx stuff and Brooklyn stuff, kind of New York City, you go to the hero shop. It's like 20 kids in the hero shop. Everybody there hitting Poppy up for your order. And you got to hurry up and run out the corner store to get the bus on that school day trip. Because everybody in the corner store try and get their order for their hero or their bagel or their roll. You feel me? Because what they call the Kaiser roll, we used to just call it a regular roll growing up in New York City. And you call the hero, the long one. So I remember either you getting the roll or you getting a hero. You gotta run out the store. I remember sometimes some people ain't pay because you there waiting, the man there put the sandwich like this yours, that's yours. The bus man there beeping the horn, the teachers there like, hurry up. And everybody there running. Sometimes some people ain't paying. It was innocent kid stuff, It wasn't nothing like, you trying like, rob the people for a sandwich. And sometimes some kids came back the next day or after the trip and paid, because you had to go to that corner store every day, or you had to go to that corner store when you had a school trip or in the morning for school, and those was the good days, because those was the days the corner store people know you. You know them. Like, corner store old man, like, his children, and y'all go to school together, like, those was the days where you short on $1, you good, you know? Like sometimes you come in the store and you just probably buying one candy or something, the old man give you a chip, he tell you, get a 25-cent Huggy and a chip, or get a Twinkie, or a Swiss roll, and it's on the house, it's on him. Like, and this is why I tell people, me and my brother always talk about it. We ain't grow up in a New York City where I'm not saying it didn't have crime and all of that, but we grew up in a New York City with love. Grew up with a neighborhood where I see, for example, I'm start seeing these ICE people nowadays. Okay, check this out. You people that like to videotape things and camera things, right? I grew up in the Bronx in certain blocks in the neighborhood. I'm sorry if somebody came to take one person out of that neighborhood, you would have had to deal with that whole neighborhood. Okay? And I'm not talking about some people that call themselves black people or Latino people or Asian people or white people. I'm talking about the whole community, the whole block. And this is when people love each other and the neighborhood love each other. Because if you're going to arrest somebody rightfully and legally, yeah, the elders in that neighborhood might let that go down. But if you think you are law enforcement and you're going to come on a block in a neighborhood and beat a person up in front of a neighborhood that loves their neighbors or a person that is a human that they watch grow up from a baby? No. Communities in America is not going to let that go down. And this is the people loving the people. This ain't about war. This is about stopping war. Yeah, time flies. Those days were simple and chill. Yes. Build the light blue juice with the barbecue sunflower seeds. Man, let me tell you, I remember barbecue, what they had, ranch. What they start having cheddar later on. And nowadays they got all different type of like flavors. But when we was kids, yeah, you only had regular, barbecue, and I think cheddar and ranch. The bodega in LES was those places to go. Yes, man, like, man, let me tell you something. The bodegas in New York is like, some people may not like to hear this or they may think that it's bad. And this is why I tell you, see, if you glorify the hood as bad, that's you. But I'm going to always glorify the goodness and the love in the hood, okay? I remember I had certain times in the corner stores where the dudes is there chilling on the corner, right? And they cold outside, right? And that corner store man let them come inside and chill, okay? They ain't robbing him. They ain't bothering him. They ain't doing nothing wrong to him, okay? Because if somebody come in his store and disrespect him, they going to defend him, okay? If somebody look to come in his store and rob him, they gonna make sure that don't happen. And this was the community respecting the community. All of this nonsense of people talking about, oh, this is gangster or that is gangster. No, it's not gangster to tear your community down and tear your community down, but it is gangster to defend your community and build your community. Okay. Oh man, you ain't even talking, boy. You man, come on, man. Little Debbie's, 25 cent. And what is it? Remember they had the single Twinkies for a quarter, as you said. They had the regular chips for a quarter, big chips for 50 cent. Come on, man. 99 cent bags. The real quarter waters, Poland Spring or Deer Park water for a quarter back then, for real. And you had the Huggies for a quarter. But nowadays, it got certain stuff. I can remember, to be honest with you, I'm the original price of me ever paying for a newspaper was 50 cents. And nowadays I paid $3 for the Daily News or the New York Post, and it ain't about the price. It's about how times change. Because I remember you get a butter roll, 50 cent, as I said. You get a coffee for 50 cent. That dollar right there used to be good with a dollar in the hood, Used to be good. That dollar, because it ain't about you having a dollar and using that dollar to get a butter roll or a coffee and eating that in the morning. Nah, you knew that, like, you know what? This butter roll and coffee is going to hold me down. It's cool. Might throw some cheese on it, or might go to the bread spot and might get a veggie patty or something, and people that ate meat might get a beef patty with cocoa bread or something, and that's when it was only $1.50. And then if you wanted cocoa bread, it was probably what, $2.50. Back then they charge you, what is it? Was just $1 for cocoa bread, man, or $1.50 for cocoa bread. Now they charge you like $3 for cocoa bread. One piece of cocoa bread, they charging you $1. I'm like, you serious? I remember when the cocoa bread was $1. And nowadays, I think if you go in like some Caribbean spots and you like even Golden Crust or any Caribbean spot, like you buy some cocoa bread or hard dough bread, it's like $10 and up for a whole loaf. But I'd rather eat that than the regular nonsense bread that they have in their supermarket and stores. Nah, I rather eat a lot of Caribbean food products before I eat this poison stuff that they feed people, cause it's just poison. It's nothing is nothing good for your body or anybody's body, and they would actually, that's why people get sick so much and then don't know why they get sick. But you put stuff in your body every day and then you want to know the reason why you're sick. Okay. So, no, it's not. Because even with a lot of stuff, the taste change. I remember when I was a kid, Frosted Flakes used to taste different. Even the Twinkies, they used to taste different. The Lay's chips, Snickers, all of these things used to taste different. Nowadays, they don't taste the same. Kit Kat, none of these stuff have the same taste of the 80s and the 90s. None of them. And if some people think that they taste the same, you really don't know what you tasting then. For real, even from the regular cow milk, Red Top, that joint is not the same as what people used to drink in the 90s or even what they gave us in public school in the 90s in New York City. That is not the same milk that is today. Yeah, the processed food, fast food, and the dope game have that in common. They both have a, a line of customers, and both disrupt and serve what's bad enough to get the indulgent up out of here. No, and like the it's like to me the more nonsense that people like see is the more that they want it, and because you could tell some people like, yo, don't be eating that fast food, but people will be like, man, I don't got no time to cook, man. Yes, you always got time to take care of yourself, okay? Because if you ain't taking care of yourself, you taking care of somebody else, you know? And I don't got to be with the joint to say, oh, you got like, no. You, you have to make sure you okay before you make sure like the world is really okay. It got some times where yes, we ride or die for the people that we love out here, but you can't have one bag leg and take care of your family if you thinking that you there limping and your family struggling. You can't do that, because you'll be hindering your family. So you can't want and do that. You can't try to think you helping when you hurting. You know. Sometimes, yeah, we ain't gonna always be at 100%, but you gotta make sure you are willing and able. Yeah, you got to be like fit. Like that's why some people be saying, "Oh, what? Like it's not that serious." Well, you know what? It is serious for you to be making sure you take care of your body and you are healthy and strong. It is that serious. Okay, it is. Well, ain't no joint of you like not caring for yourself like you supposed to. Cause if you ain't caring for yourself, how you gonna be here for your family to take care of your family? Cause I'ma just say this as the people that wanting to be hood, you want to be so hood, right? If you ain't taking care of your family, another dude is, or somebody else, or something else is. And for all you people that like to say, don't let that go over your head, don't let that go over your head. If you don't take care of somebody's that you call your families, something else is, or somebody else is. The job you ain't doing, others is doing. Majority rules. All of that is just a part of the rules, and a majority of us is just a part of the cool. I'm a part of house. It's out like I'm a part of a tool, and I'm the part of that's in the front. I gotta check that Sky Zoo. Pardon me, dude. Okay, I gotta check that song out. Now, you know what? I remember hearing about Sky Zoo, but I ain't gonna act like I used to listen to him, but I gotta check that song out. But I ain't gonna front, I always heard that he was a capable MC, and a good MC. I ain't gonna never, one thing I don't never disrespect nobody pen. I don't care who you is. I don't care whether you a man or a woman. Or even a young poet or a young rhymer. I don't disrespect nobody pen. Your pen sharp and wise, I'ma always respect your sword. They got some people out there, they disrespect people's sword because you don't like them. Get out of here, man. I guess I give you a wide example, and I'm never ashamed to say it. I said, personally, as a human being, yeah, I will have to respect T.I. as a human. But when it comes to a man, I don't respect him as a man. When it comes to him being a rapper, I respect him as being a rapper slash an MC. And if some people don't get what I just said, as I always say, you're going to always be confused. Because there's certain things you don't do in this world as a human being. You know? Yeah, cause people I tell people, man, when I do my poetry or anything, I'm not saying no joint to really rhyme. I'm hitting frequencies and vibrations and sounds, so this could really affect the universe, you know? I ain't just saying something good. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And that's what people better start understanding. The words that you say is gonna affect others. Yeah, separate the man from the art. Some people don't know how to do that. They be there like, oh, I like 50 Cent music. Yeah, 50 Cent can make good music, but in real life, he's a coward. Okay? Like, you could like Michael Jordan, but in real life, do you know him? Okay? Like, they don't know how to separate that. They be thinking that, oh my gosh, I love her so much. Okay. Don't fall in love with the delivery, but appreciate and respect the artistry. Bang, bang, bang. For real, because when I listen to like the artists that I like, I appreciate their art because I know that they're making this song out of love, or they're making this like track out of love, and it ain't no joint of where they talking about a whole bunch of nonsense. They actually took time in creating the verse, the chorus, the instrumental, as in the beat. They took time. Rappers be on that wrestling shit where they be believing themselves to be characters that they are not even when they steal somebody else's identity. Oh, man. And it's funny but sad because it's true, you know? Like, I don't want to say it, but 80% of these rappers that act like they're big, bad, and sorry, please, y'all forgive me. 80% of these rappers that act like they're big, bad, and tough, right? Let me see. I'm like, I'm skinny, But I guarantee you, like, 80% of these rappers that so-called super duper tough, you put me in a room alone with them without their crew or whatever, and you'll see the fear inside of their soul. Forgive me, Ja, for that. And trust me, I wouldn't have to touch them. But it's just that real is real and make believe is make believe. Like the soul don't lie, but a human would always tell one. Invite you in the ring, then run up like a wrestler and clothesline you, Pepper. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, shout out to Papoose too, man. Hmm. I be laughing at some of this. I laugh at all the stuff that they do because they all make me laugh, And I don't know, they have the ability to really think that they think who they are, And I be there like, mm. Y'all really fool the people and fool yourselves. For real, because I don't know, body energy don't lie, And like the eyes don't lie. Energy don't lie. And like I look at all of these, like I could say people, celebrities, and you could see the fakeness in them. You could it is all written all over them. It ain't even like they could hide it. That's the funny thing about it to me. Like they can't even. It's like Like Fat Joe, I love you. You feel me? I love you, Fat Joe. Like, but you don't get on my nerves, cause like I can't even give you that much energy. But you just making everybody laugh right now. He telling some of the most outrageous stories, and he's giving you're giving the world a good joke, for real. You're giving the world a good joke. Yeah, it's entertainment, but at the same time, I don't want to see my brothers and sisters spilling each other's blood for money because the devil is the winner at the end of that. Yeah, and well, see, this the thing, brother. What you just said right there, right? I always said in my studies, our people have to realize that paragraph that you just wrote, though. Okay? Because they don't realize what you just wrote. Because it'll be, see that it's okay for me to if me and you was rappers right now and me and you getting on this joint and we did disrespecting each other, right? You know how much people will come over here with me and you disrespecting each other to the fullest if I was a top rapper in America and you the top rapper in Puerto Rico? You know how much people gonna come over here and listen to me and you disrespecting each other? You know how many people gonna share this joint out of me and you talking trash to each other and loving it and keep on rewinding it and keep on throwing it back every 20 seconds or whatever, and say you seen what Proud Mix said to Delvin, or you seen what Delvin said to him, and they gonna be feeding it. But then if me and you come on the next day and we say, or if you come on first and say, yo, my brother, I was wrong for what I said yesterday, and I probably take a while to answer, but I answered and said, you know what, I was wrong too. They ain't gonna love that. Ain't too much people gonna tune in for that show. Ain't too much people gonna want to listen to that show. And I keep on learning. A lot of people would like to disguise themselves as saying they love God or they this and that, right? But you see the world of human beings and human behavior that they would like to see people tear each other apart than come together. And I always say it tells a lot about the people. And you're telling a lot about yourself when you like to see destruction instead of seeing things build. Because it's all good for people to say that people have free will, right? But what are you doing with your free will? Are you building or are you destroying anything in this universe? Because it ain't no time of saying that, oh, I can do what I want. No. You better understand that you living in the universe with a whole bunch of other people too. And a whole bunch of other different species. So you may not do what you think you want. You could do what you want respectfully and not harm others. And this is what, like, a lot of humans are not getting. It's a cause and effect to what you do. And that's why I'm going to always keep on saying the word needs to be taught over. Because if we think what's going on from long, 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 long ago in the public, it feels to be a Zion. Yeah. If we see what's going on in the public and thinking that this is cool or it's alright or it's okay, nah. What's going on in the public? Because that been going on in a lot of different eras. Right now we in modern day time of what we call 2026. but what been going on in what we call ancient times of religious wars going on in Africa, wars going on in Iran, things going on in Mexico. Saudi Arabia, all these places from before. It feels to be a Zion fabulous. Read up, bro, the whole lyric. Is that a song from Fab? Cold Summer? Okay. No, they need to bring the mixtapes back too. For real. That's when people really showed MC competition and it was really lyrical warfare. Nowadays everybody's scared to, I guess, write, you know? Nah, Fab had a lot of mixtapes. Fab and Jada is like, it got a lot of MCs, I'll say, in the rap game that I could say that they was mixtape, I would say, bullies. And and Fab always, he will be written down in hip hop history as a mixtape bully. I give him that. I stamp him as that because even if he was on Clue mixtapes, he made sure, like, whether he was on the 1 or the 2 slot, he made sure he did. And boy, Fabulous is a slick little Willie. He's a slick talker. He's a slick talker, you know. And I say as a New York City MC, he deserve his shine. For real. Cause I do watch his podcast with him, Jim Jones, Mano, and Davies. You know, I watch their podcast. They funny. But the thing is, I really want our people to really unite on a. Yeah, they stupid, and not in a bad way, in a funny way. Cause I like how they see, one thing I be telling people about a podcast, when anybody can have a podcast, but it's how you set it up, and it's what y'all ask, and it's what y'all talk about, and it's how you engage with the people that's watching. And me, as I say, if I'm watching something on the internet or even the TV, it has to really make me to engage. Like, of course, my brother, for real, of course, unity is a must. Nah, cause it has to really, like, certain things, like, even I'm gonna be honest to you, like, with watching, if I watch your joint, your lives, right? I just say like this: different times in different spots in your lives is joints to be dropped and it's jewels to be dropped. And when I watch people on YouTube or even watching movies and stuff, I want to learn. I'm not just watching this joint. Like, I want to learn, and then after that, I'm listening to the point of where I'm listening to a sign of respect, because what you saying or what the person is saying that you watching or what you listening to, like I'm giving that respect of learning from them, you know? So it's like how people say they all is. Like, yeah, I'm all is. You in taking what that person is giving. And me when I listen to like if I'm listening to like Marlene, like your joint, or certain people that actually speak sense, it gives you a good feeling and you know you could take something away from listening to that episode. But if you just get up on YouTube or whichever application it is and you just speaking about like example like the garbage can, and I can't really take anything of what you're saying about the garbage can, I don't think I should be listening to you talk about that garbage can. And that is right. Yeah, the realest gems are not in any jewelry store. And that's the thing, you know, like check this out. Let me build upon that, but on in the YouTube way. It has so much people that got 100,000 subscribers, right? And 500,000, 300,000, and people be tuning into them every day. But I was there thinking about it today, walking in the living room. I said, man, I'm the type to take a leap where a lot of people don't take. So I told myself, I said, I'd be willing to debate Donald Trump, right? On anything. Okay, so it has little podcasters, right? That has 1,000 subscribers. And it has podcasters that, as I said, 300, 100,000 subscribers. But they ain't really talking about nothing. And they not really hitting nothing. Because it's just a lot of smoke and mirrors. You know, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And of course everybody gonna run over there. Of course everybody gonna jump the hurdle and get over there and go. Because there's a lot of nonsense. And like I said probably like 7 minutes ago, if me and the brother was on here going after each other and tearing each other down to the fullest, you know how much people gonna tune in and love it? But how we're speaking now, nobody is going to tune into this frequency, because the only people that are tuned into this frequency is the people on this channel. And I don't mean channel as in TV or as in application. Okay? I mean channel as in universal frequency. Okay? Now, and that's why you and a lot of people in the world may never connect. Because they're not on your frequency and you're not on their frequency and y'all are not on the same channel. Okay? But I'll say this. Don't ever lower yourself to go to channel 3 to them. Make sure you stay on channel 4 or higher. Don't don't lower yourself to get to them. Because that's even a learning lesson with all of us, you know, as human beings. Don't lower yourself to people low ability. Just because they down there don't mean that you got to go down there. I keep learning. You got to always reach higher than that. You know, because, yeah, it'll be tempted. And some people will really drive you to that point where, yeah, it's easy for you to destroy them physically. But you know what? I had to learn spiritually and mentally. You was going to destroy yourself in the long run too as well. Like I said in my latest poem, I can't tear my brother down for $1, and I can't knock my sister, because what connects all on these grounds is a collar. That's how I see us. And that's true, you know, because, yo, For the people out there that's listening, how some people will want to say, when you tear somebody down, you're showing a lot about yourself. Well, yes, you are. But then after that, you actually, when you tear somebody down, right, in your community or wherever, you're tearing all of us down. And you're making all of us look bad. And some people grew up in this so-called mind state of, yeah, I'm taking care of me and my family, I'm doing this. But when something happened to you and your family, you want the community to help you and your family, right? Okay. You can't have it one way and not have it the other. And that's how some people want things in life. They want all the riches, but they'll never give to somebody that need the riches. You want all that you got already, but somebody that you know need what you got, you won't give. And that's the type of world that we living in. And that's not a riddle, that's just real life. Humans play upon humans and think that certain things are right. Yeah, it's a crying shame. It's a cold shame. Because we put so much bandages on it. Oh, they're black. They're white. They're rich. They're poor. They're Christian. They're Democrats. They're Republicans. That's not a laughter. That's a laughter of shame, okay? For real, because all the different makeups we put on the problems that we are still living is nothing being solved. And this is why I say when things come up after 2028 in America, I want to see a lot of more people from the urban community get into politics very tough. I don't pick a side with people. I only meals. I don't pick a side with people. Only by meals. Keep on going rough, brother. Ah, man. And that's just like what people will say with it will ask about people siding with a Democrat or a Republican in America. And as I tell people, you cannot try to force people to like a Democrat or a Republican in America when it has people in America that we care about America, okay? We ain't caring about no parties. We ain't caring about no people. We care about the whole country, okay? We care about what really matters. And then when people want to be talking about, oh, why do you speak about black topics in America? Okay, because when it came to times of speaking about America, when America was being built, America didn't care about my people. So I must always talk for my people and speak up for them. So for all you people that don't like it, I don't care. Okay? I don't care. You just stay down in your little seat and be ashamed and quiet like you would always be. Because the thing is, when it comes to speak to power, you will never speak to power. You would always be ashamed. And you would always have some excuse. Because, man, I don't care whether it's Caucasian people being mistreated in America, Irish people being mistreated in America, Asian people being mistreated, black people, whoever. Mistreatment is mistreatment. Injustice is injustice. That's what y'all not getting. As the brother just said, he ain't picking a side with people. He gonna eat how he gotta eat his food. But when it comes to a whole, gotta understand. The people must take care of the people. Hold on, let me see what the brother said. Everybody gets discriminated against. And that's true because it comes to the point where you got human beings mistreating human beings. It's that simple, people. Okay, you don't got to put a band-aid on that. You ain't got to go get no peroxide or alcohol. Okay, it's that simple. Left, right, and I ain't talking about a party, you know, but for the humans that want to make things so difficult that are simple, those are the problems. Okay? You got to always watch for the people. Like when things are so simple, right, as saying love over hate, and people that always want to push something in the middle of, those are the people that was problems, because I'm, I don't know, I just see it. I see the problems coming, because you can't keep living a lie and thinking everything gonna be okay. Because the more you live the lie, the more problems you're gonna have at the end of the day. And that's what's happening right now on Earth. Humans are living a lie. And when it's time to pull the skirt up on all this lies, a lot of people's feelings are going to be hurt. Generations are going to be crushed. But it must happen. The closer we get to Jah, is the less people stay around us and the road becomes more narrow, and the more lies people tell just shortens their blessings. Yes, Jah Rastafari. No, and that's true, yo, because the more you see the brightness of Jah, it's the more the evil will try to come upon you. But as I say, and as we know, evil cannot beat good, okay? And it could never overtake good. Evil would always lose, because if you think evil force could beat good force, you must be stupid. And I'm telling all humans that believe that. I asked my brother the other day, it's just a simple question, but some humans wouldn't understand this, but I'm going to put it in the air. Do you think the devil could beat God? And I'm not talking physical body. I'll leave it there, because it been years people would say stupidity things like I'm a devil, I'm a demon, I'm on demon time. So if somebody say they on God time, you think you could beat them? All right then. Because there ain't no way nobody on demon time could ever beat God time. So when people talk all that demon time stuff, or they devils, they demons, or you this and you that, you ain't nothing but a hurt little scorned child. That's all you are. Evil would not prevail the same way people create their own puddles and swear someone else around them causes it to start raining. Yeah. Make up false fantasies and make up worlds of wars. And then after that, think the world is after you and the world has a problem with you. Me against the world. But you never fought a battle yet. Never saved nothing yet. And that's the funny thing. I see these people, everybody talk about they so gangster, they steppers, this and that. You're a so-called killer, right? But tell me if you ever saved a life. Can't throw a stone and hide a hand. And that's what they do. Because how you going to be a so-called killer And don't ever think that that's not going to come after you or yours. Hmm? How you think you're going to take a life in this universe and everything going to be okay with you? Let me read my brother's comment. To give your life, to give your own life for another is the greatest sacrifice, but some cowards don't even know. I'm going to say it again and I'm going to read it again. To give your own life for another is the greatest sacrifice. You know, some people be talking about they sacrifice this, they sacrifice that. And as I say, I'm going to say it again. You ever save lives? But you could talk about taking them. You ever save anybody? You ever stopped any war? You, you ever actually got in the way? You ever actually put your life on the line for others that you don't even know? But no, you'll put your life on the line every day for somebody that could care less about you. And when you die or you pass away or you go to jail, as story goes and things always happen, you know, your big OG is going to be with your mama or your sister or your girlfriend or your wife. So what are you doing, young man? What are you doing, young lady? What are you doing, people? What are you doing? See, some people always talk about this nonsense that people are talking about nowadays of leave the streets, or the streets is played out, or the streets is dead. No, 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 you fools. All of you fools are wrong. Ain't none of that. Because the thing is, a lot of you are childish and a lot of you are kids. But you will think to make up a fantasy world that you call street life and not know. I'm going to say it again. Because a lot of you so-called men that call yourself street dudes and girls too. Because as I said, and as the brother said, he don't pick sides with people. Me, when I speak truth and power, I hit everybody. I don't care who it is. Okay? I hit everybody on the earth. I don't signal out nobody. Everybody got to get it. Now, when you there talking about the streets is dead, or leave the streets alone, or some people should stay on the sidewalks and not go on the streets, it ain't nothing about that. Because if you ain't had the mentality to go do negative energy, it wouldn't be no streets for you to talk about. So it ain't about the streets, because it got many people in the streets that's not committing crime or not committing murder, but they just in the streets because that's where they live and that's where they from. So stop saying the streets make people do negative things, because you don't got to harm people. Because if you had not an education, but if you had sense, you won't think hurting your people and fooling your people and tricking your people and making a false life, that's a streets. That's not streets. That's being a dummy and a fool. Okay? Hurting your people and then putting a bandage on a name and giving a stupid thing to it. Because, see, black people and Latino people don't like to admit the truth. And when you follow other people of calling yourself gangsters and thugs, right? Them real gangsters and thugs, they took over nations and they took over corporations. What do you got? You ain't got nothing but bodies and graveyards, and a judge could slam a gavel on a table and tell you you got 25 years to life. It's not the same gangster stuff you talking about. You doing genocide when they making corporations and money and moving and making you be who you think you are. That's their gangster. Your gangster is killing your people. Their gangster is controlling you. Want me to say it again? Your gangster is killing your people. Their gangster is controlling you. Because when you kill your ops, right, where do you go? To their jail. Can't be that powerful, could you? You can't be that gangster. And then when you go to jail, what do? You continue to beat on your people and you continue to beat on each other. No matter what color you are or what race you are. And this is why some of the people will never wake up. Because whether it's outside or inside, the people are fighting each other and tearing each other apart. Why are you saying this, Delvin? Because the people in America and around the world still don't learn that the governments are tricking the people into killing each other in all different type of situations, but you think you are living a life. You think you're doing something big. But you're falling into the trap every day, every moment, and every minute. But you're tough. You're a gangster. You're a criminal. You're an inmate. Then you're a dead body. What are you accomplishing? What is life to you and your people? What are you living? What are you teaching your people? You live to get up and be a gangster and you die or you go to jail by the Caucasian people. What are you doing? And I'm talking to everybody too. Because there's a hierarchy where you got crime in the world, right? But this is what you call like a movie. This is a lot of these things are being fixed and set up already. You know, we have more people going to the graveyards than we have more people living and learning. People are destroying each other on this earth more than they are teaching each other. Why is people hating each other more than people loving each other? And why do we have to use division against each other? Is somebody playing puppet strings behind the scenes to say that a black man and a white man has to even put a color on it? Why two men must disagree for a color? Or why somebody must be a Christian or somebody must be Islamic and argue for religious purposes or just for nothing? And don't see that they are human beings or can't even see nothing as a soul? But we must make up different arguments in situations where we build other generations where they come and they have disagreements just because their generations had disagreements, and their generations build another generation so they could have disagreements. As I say, people, when you talk about their God and their devil, what are we doing? What are we living? Where is your journey for you to go in this life? What are you doing? Because if you ask me, somebody needs to press reset. Okay? Somebody needs to turn the power off. Because this is chaos. Or shit, I'm sorry, Delvin, for saying that. This is organized chaos. Sorry for disrespecting myself and y'all like that. This is organized chaos. And for those who know, I wouldn't have to explain why I call it organized chaos. For those who don't know, keep on playing with bricks and basketballs in your head. For real. Because they would have the people tear each other apart. And when I seen that in humans, as I said the other day on my live, some animals are here to really remind humans, stop your foolishness. Okay? Because humans could talk a good game, but many humans have no sense at all. No sense. Because it's very easy for us to speak certain words of saying, oh, common sense ain't common no more. Well, how could humans have sense or even common sense when people are not even taught right from the beginning of greed in this world? And then when those that step out there on the stage to speak or to be brave enough, those are the ones that you want to kill and hold back and hide away? No, no. Every soul out there that shines, make sure you keep on shining your soul bright. Because if it was a little flame, that little flame gonna be even bigger now. Because as the years keep passing and as the days keep passing, see, humans could think what they want to think on a physical realm. But on the on the spiritual realm, humans will get the strength that they need. Because if you think what's going on will keep on going on, it will be something that the world has never seen before. The flame can be put out, but the spirit stays shining forever. You know what? And with all of us in this universe that shines, they could never put the flame out though. Because I'm going to be honest to you and everybody out there. Even on my last physical breath on this physical earth, they ain't gonna never stop it. Never. Never. Because I'm going to tell you like this for real, man. They could take Delvin's physical body, but you could never take my soul, and Lionheart will reign on forever. Because that's just how it is. This body could go. It could go all day, every day. But trust me, what's in this universe already, they can't stop it. They can't put the flame out because someone else keeps the torch burning that we pass on to keep us alive. We are the flame. Ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-boom. And you are right, my brother. Blessings to you. No, and that's the thing. A lot of people were scared to touch the torch. You know? A lot of people were scared to carry on the torch. But some people carried the torch with honor, with respect, with love. Where they gonna hold it. And some people will be like, oh my gosh, my hand is burning. Well, you know what? In Rastafari, as we say, that fire is purification. That fire is pure. That fire burn out all wicked. Okay? So when we burn a fire, we burn a fire to all they darkest messiahs. Okay? Burn them. For real. All of them. Every single one of them. Because trust me, they burn from inside out. Okay? We must become bigger than we have been, more courageous, greater in spirit, larger in outlook. We must become members of a new race, overcoming petty prejudice, owing our ultimate allegiance not to nations but to our fellow men within the human community. Haile Selassie I, Jah Rastafari Selassie I the first, Marcus Garvey the first, King Emmanuel the first, Lionheart the first, Jah Rastafari. And that's the thing, I always tell a lot of people, certain things that was laid down in Africa that the world tried to disrespect. And a lot of, I ain't really got to explain it too much, but I'll just explain it a little bit. On my left hand, I got a tattoo of Africa, and it's more than a tattoo. It's a warrior mark, and just wasn't put there to be like, oh man, that's the nice continent on earth. It was put there because it's needed to be there, and people disrespected the motherland so much that they keep taking from her and acting like it was good. They keep just taking, and still till this day, they're taken out of Africa. And a lot of people around the world will ask stupid questions. What is in Africa? What are they taking? Well, I don't care the lies that people tell, but I care about the lies that they will tell to make people think it's okay. The majority of the things that we call foundations and civilizations on this planet Earth should always pay homage to Africa. But over the years, there have been lies and crimes, cover-ups, and disrespect to take her away from her glory. And the thing is, this is the thing, right? See, people could talk about all the wars and the different tribes that war in Africa. Yeah, you could talk about that, right? But let me say this like I always said since I was 14. Africa never waged no war on no other nations in this world. Okay? But nations around this world always wage war upon her. Okay? If she ever fought against any nations, she was defending herself. Okay? I'm going to say it again. If she was ever fighting any other nation, she was defending herself. Why do you say that? Because it ain't nothing in this world that Africa needed from no other place. Okay? I'm going to say it again. It's nothing on this planet, Earth, that Africa ever needed. But it's many things in Africa that Earth needed. Okay? But no, they would want to give you mystical stories. No, no. And the thing is, right, they're going to keep on abusing her as the years go on, right? But when the universal cycle happens of the universe feeding back what it needs to feed back, don't feel sorry. Okay? Don't feel sorry. Well, to everybody out there, thank you for being in the building. I will be back positively later on for a little bit of sports cap. You know, my Knicks won our last little game, but that was against the 76ers, and that's nothing to really run home to. I don't really like how we've been playing so far. And I just hope by halftime and by the NBA All-Star break, that after the All-Star break, I should say, that we buck up, because I'm not going to beat on the team, but right now in New York, the Knicks organization and Knicks Nation, like, the Knicks need to do some soul searching if we want to win a championship this year. Or I should pump my brakes and say, if we want to go anywhere far in the playoffs this year, we got to do some soul searching, and we need more than a team meeting. Because not liking what I'm seeing from my team. Thank you for everybody out there. Open-minded. Tina Marie. Proud Bricks Child. God bless. Rastafari to you, my lion. And I hope everybody have a good day for now. God bless. Rastafari. Lion love.